Thursday means it's time for a pre-show. On Thursdays is usually the days I go see movies, since that's the night most of them come out. So I've started just kind of making a video where I'm just kind of talking about it a little bit, showing my excitement or anticipation or whatever it may be about whatever particular film. Today, it's the Hyperions, the latest film from the Daily Wire, their third film. It's set to come out here in about half an hour, and plus I don't have the kids at this particular moment, so I figured it was a good time to get on and do a pre-show. I'll come back later tonight for the usual midnight movie talk, where we'll talk spoiler probation, which will include a 150-day jail stay. Let's see. He was also ordered to pay. So I'm glad he's going to jail. Obviously, everybody has the same opinion on this for the most part. He's time, I thought, because I think he had a clean rap sheet and everything like that. So I thought they were going to just let him, do some probation and obviously pay the fines and shit. But no, he's actually going away, it's very exciting. But, if you accuse somebody of something, you should have to do the time that they would have had to do. That's just the basic thought on that. Now, back to the Hyperions. Like I said, I'll probably touch on that more with the Midnight Movie Talk show. This film is, let's see. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Director John McDonald, written and directed and produced by him. And I think he, on IMDb, which is my only resource for this, he's only got a couple of other film credits, and they seem kind of like indie films as well. So absolutely nothing I recognize. And the cast, I don't know any of the cast either, besides obviously Cary Elwes. I think that's his name. The Saw guy. So here's the synopsis. A device that enables humans to have a particular superpower. He took in 3 down-on-their-luck youths, creating an unusual family of superheroes, and they quickly rose to fame and prestige. However, over time, the commercial family fractured and the professor replaced the team with a new set of superhero teens. Cut to 1979, when 2 of the original superheroes are all grown up and wanting their Titan badges back, even if it means robbing the professor's museum and taking a few hostages accidentally. So it's a superhero comedy, basically. I saw an article about it earlier describing it as a dramedy. This looks like something that I would probably watch, even if it wasn't debuting on YouTube for free. These smaller films kind of surprise you every now and then. Most of them suck, but sometimes you get a couple that aren't giant big blockbusters, and they're actually pretty good. I've gotten to watch a couple of those through Screening Room. And, I've been pleasantly surprised. And when the Daily Wire picks up a movie, it's, so far they're 2 for 2. So I don't think they would risk buying a shitty movie, not that they have a whole lot to lose right now. And they didn't actually make this movie, they just bought the rights to it. Which, that makes me a little worried, right? Because why didn't a bigger distributor pick it up? And I think the answer to that is that, I doubt there was any kind of bidding war or anything like that the Daily Wire won for this. I think more than likely it was kind of like a last, whoever was selling it was just like, okay, yeah, we'll give it to them because nobody else wants it right now. And I think that's because the bigger companies are tied up with all the franchise movies. They're not going to put any money behind a little independent film like this. No big stars, not a well-known director, nothing like that. And the Daily Wire has had success with their, kind of variety, I guess. And one thing that's interesting is, according to... I lost my train of thought there. Okay, so according to the internet, Cary Elwes is a very left-leaning guy, and I think I knew that, but I kind of forgot he existed. His career kind of took the Molly Ringwald path, where he was a huge, giant star and all these. Those were all big movies, too, and according to his IMDb, he hasn't really done a whole lot lately. So getting him wasn't like a big, giant get for whoever was putting this movie together. But he does have one of those faces and names that somebody might click on just, oh, it's the Princess Bride guy. But his name does absolutely nothing for most people. But the talk on the internet has been, how has he, at least the talk from some people, how did he end up being in a movie that's being put out by the Daily Wire? And a lot of people have commented on, kind of explained that he's just in the movie. He has no connection with how it's promoted or who publishes it or anything like that. But somebody pointed out just a little bit ago that he hasn't tried to promote this movie at all. Usually, even if it's not a big wide release movie, if you're an actor and you're not a well-known actor, because let's be honest, he's not these days, if you're in any kind of film whatsoever, regardless, you're going to want to push it. But he doesn't want to, he appears to not want anything to do with the Daily Wire's releasing this film. And that's kind of unfortunate to me, because the Daily Wire obviously had no issues picking a movie up that had him in it. That's one thing about these movies so far. Like I said, they've only actually made the one, which was Shut In, but the Run, Hide, Fight movie and Shut In, both, they weren't like punch you in the face. They weren't like punch you in the face political movies or anything like that. They're just putting out content that has absolutely no obvious bias. Like, obviously a movie about a school shooting being stopped by guns is gonna just in nature be a pro-gun movie. But it wasn't ram it down your throat political. And there was some Bible stuff in Shut In, but it didn't take away from the movie at all, and it was obviously better than the Monster Dog movie or whatever it was that the other studio tried turning that into. Carano, who they did, then Cary Elwes, just for a matter of projecting the values of the company. But they set that aside for this one because they just think it's a good film with no real leanings one way or the other. And that also might be why it ended up at the Daily Wire, because if it really doesn't lean in any particular direction, which is what they're saying when they promote it every day on their shows, they're saying this isn't a left or this isn't a right-leaning show, it's not political at all, no messages, this and that. And that might be why none of the big studios wanted it, because that's another big problem nowadays, is everything has to have a message. Free Guy, I thought, was an awesome movie, but it was almost destroyed by its stupid message. I just couldn't believe it. But yeah, I guess we'll see how this movie turns out. I kind of lost my train of thought there for a little. Oh, I was going to start talking about the Gino Carano. That's the next movie that they're going to make, or that they're producing. The next one that's going to come out. And it seems like not that it's easy to make a movie. I've never made a movie, so I have no idea what all it entails. But Shut In seems like it was a relatively smaller production, and like I said, I don't know what all entails, but it seems like Terror on the Prairie, the Gino Carano one, is what this has all been leading up to. Like, it's only their fourth movie, but it's like the big movie. Like, that is going to be the Daily Wire's movie. And I think that might be because it does portray a little more of the political themes, but not punch you in the face political, but just, I guess, values, really, more than politics. And I'm excited to see Cowboy Cerrone act in that movie. I didn't know that he was an actor. And him and Gina Carano, both two former UFC fighters, although I think he's still a current. I don't think he's technically retired yet. But yeah, let's get back to, I guess, just giving an overview of the movie. Probably hang it up here soon. I just wanted to do a little pregame like I've been doing before I watch the movies on Thursday nights. And, this is the last movie that they're going to be giving away for movie content, rather, that they've gotten to release. They put it out on YouTube just for one showing. It comes out. Everybody can watch it. And then after that, it's behind the paywall. You have to be a Daily Wire member to access it. And it apparently is a good model for them. I don't know too many other people that have released movies that way. I know AMC, the TV channel, when they're showing Better Call Saul, you can watch it online after it airs on TV. You can watch it online for the first 2 days. and then it goes away. You have to pay to watch it. But this model of showing it once and then it's kind of similar to how the Daily Wire does their podcast, at least the video versions of their podcast. The first 15 minutes or the first half hour. It's usually their hour-long shows, except for Matt Walsh. You can get video all the way through just by watching it on YouTube. But for the other shows I watch on there, you only get the video element for the first half of the show, and if you want to see it through the remainder of the show, which includes the clips that they're referencing, and so if you want to have the full experience watching the show, then you have to be a member of Daily Wire. And now they're getting so much entertainment content outside of all the news stuff that it's definitely worth it to get that at this point, I think. Unless this movie comes out and totally sucks. Which, like I said, is a very real possibility because, no offense, but there's a reason why this ended up at the Daily Wire. I mean, this was obviously shopped around to a lot of the big studios. It seems like something that people would want to see. Hype about it, see what people are talking about. Just to kill time, I guess, before this thing comes out and we can go watch it. And then, like I said, the Midnight Movie Talk, that's happening tonight as usual at 11 p.m. So we'll talk some of the other news stories of the day, and then I'll spoil this movie and give my thoughts on it. Everybody writing about it right now, which there's not very many, seems excited to watch it. The haters haven't gotten a hold of it yet. And unfortunately, that's probably one of the reasons why Cary Elwes is distanced, and I'm probably saying that wrong, why he's distancing himself from this movie, if you want to call it that. He's just really not acknowledging it at all. It's not like there was any distance. It's not like he was big on this film and then, backed off. I didn't even know this movie was being made or coming out, and I watch movie news all the time. These independent films fly under so rabid that they just, he wouldn't want to be associated with this. I'm kind of surprised there haven't been, I've seen some posts, but I haven't seen any, big viral things about Cary Elwes going on the partnering with the Daily Wire. I mean, I think Mark Duplass or whatever his name is, he was more relevant right now than Cary Elwes is, and, he's not as relevant, as far as just his name, as Cary is, and that caused a whole big firestorm just by posting a picture with Ben Shapiro. So, they would really go after him and attack him if he was trying to push the fact that he was in a Daily Wire movie, even though they're just releasing it. They didn't produce this movie. This isn't shut in. But, yeah. Let's see, live in 40 minutes. Looking forward to watching this. Why is the real Daily Wire working with notable alt-left liberal Cary Elwes? Isn't he a bit of a hypocrite for doing the same thing? Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised that's not a bigger talking point, but I think, like I said, he doesn't want to be attached to this because they'll attack him for it. But also, he would be helping promote this movie. If this did turn into a big scandal, Cary Elwes signs with the Daily Wire, he must be a Nazi and, hates killing babies or whatever terrible things they would say about him. It would promote the movie more and more people would watch it, whereas he's probably hoping this whole thing just goes away. Wow, feels like Cary Elwes is disassociating himself from the real Daily Wire's new film, The Hyperions, and it's got a screenshot. It says no results on Cary Elwes's Twitter feed for the word Hyperions. So like I said, I think he probably just does these roles as they come in. And that's the other thing about his position. He's not broke by any means. He's still a working actor, but he's not actively sought after. He's making movies probably because he likes making movies. He doesn't need any more money, and he's not trying to be a relevant star, so he probably just signs on to the movies of the scripts that he gets that look interesting to him, and that bodes well for the film, I think. So overall, I'm excited about it. We got about 10 minutes before this thing comes out. I will say real quickly, I'll go into it more on the midnight show, but this whole Disney situation about the don't indoctrinate our kids bill, there was some follow-up from that, because this conversation started because of Disney's lack of response to the bill in Florida. But now it's gone further to where now you have Pixar employees coming out saying that Disney makes us take out the gay stuff in our movies, and or another, that's what they're saying. But it seems like lately I've actually seen it pushed more, specifically in Disney movies. Nonetheless, that's why we have to keep watching these Daily Wire movies, because not that it's not the gayness thing, but it's just the pushing it thing. We definitely don't have to worry about it from these guys. And yeah, that's basically that's my thoughts on why I'm excited about the Daily Wire making movies. But I'll talk more about the Disney thing with the midnight show. Speaking of which, I'll probably just sign off now. Yeah, got about 12 minutes before this thing comes out, so get your popcorn or whatever, and then, yeah, join me back here at 11 p.m. Mountain Time for Midnight Movie Talk. And, yeah, Hyperions. Looking forward to it.